the first thing that I'm going to work on in today's episode is probably looking to get the everlasting mana pool, because this thing here does not seem too difficult whatsoever. We've got the creative essence. We made all of that in the last episode. We've got as many infinity ingots as it takes, and then everything else here, apart from the Gaia spirit ingots, has an EMC. So the star metal, the resonating gems, the pixie dust, the terra steel, and the elementum, all of them have EMC values, and so everything here, apart from the Gaia, is EMCable, and so all we have to do is get ourselves 4 Gaia ingots, the 4 Gaia ingots, of course, requiring 16 Gaia spirits, which, of course, means that we have to go and fight the Gaia, and so before we do that, I think what I am also going to do is make myself the Sword of the Cosmos, because if it has not been changed, and hopefully it hasn't, the Sword of the Cosmos can one-hit kill the Gaia, which makes the fight just incredibly easy. And so all we need to do here is get ourselves one more Infinity Catalyst, because again, we've got all of the Infinity Ingots we could ever need. Neutronium is EMCable, and Crystal Matrix Ingots we have as well. The only thing that's difficult in that craft is the Infinity Catalyst, and unfortunately, the Infinity Catalyst is a bit of a pain in the backside to make, as you'll know if you watched the previous stream, because we don't have any of the items for it. At least we don't have any of the big items already crafted. For example, we're going to need yet more Cosmic Meatballs, and although I do think we have all of the stuff required to make more Cosmic Meatballs, it does mean that I have to go and manually grab all of this stuff and put it into the extreme crafting table over here for it to work.
20 minutes later.
We are now done and dusted with Infinity Catalysts. Never again do we have to make those freaking things. We can clear our inventory of all of this trash, and we can move on to making ourselves the Sword of the Cosmos. I'm also going to empty out this chest here, and we can also refill up our inventory with the stuff that we normally have. Nice. Okie dokie. So, Sword of the Cosmos. To make this, we need to get ourselves a ton of Infinity Ingots, some Crystal Matrix Ingots, and some Neutronium, all of which we have ready and raring to go in the system. So Infinity Ingots, Neutronium Ingots, and Crystal Matrix Ingots. Boom. And, of course, the things we just made, the Infinity Catalysts. Kapow. Nice. So, this is, I think, the most powerful sword available in the game. We don't have any mobs around to test it on, and we definitely don't have any mobs that... I mean, we could go and kill one of these, spider-looking blocks over here, but it's not... Did he? I thought he didn't die there for a second. But it's not really a fair test. Like, these... I probably one-hit killed by my pre-existing shuriken. But nevertheless, we will have a worthy foe in just a moment here, because now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our Builder's Wand. We're also going to grab a ton of grass, which we're going to grab from the Transmutation Tablet, and we're going to try setting up the first Gaia fight. And also, of course, defeating the first Gaia fight, which I don't think is going to be too difficult or too challenging in any sense of the word. So I will grab an angel block here, just to make setting up a new floating platform a little bit easier. I would ideally love this to be, like, I guess I'll build it down here because I don't want it, interfering with the look of the top of our base. So we'll build it, like, over here somewhere. We'll just do this, and then we'll build a big old grass platform, like so. Perfect. And it probably doesn't quite need to be this big, in all fairness. But why not, right? Actually, this is probably about right, honestly. It does need to be quite a big space for this to work effectively. I think our World Breaker is it's the best shovel we've got for breaking this grass. Perfect. And then if we go ahead and grab ourselves the Lexica Botania, this is the setup that we need to spawn the Gaia. And it requires 4 of these guys, the Gaia pylons, which thankfully do have an EMC, 8 blocks of iron, and then 1 beacon in the middle. So over in here, let's grab the Gaia pylons. Hoping I can just type in pylon. I can indeed. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll also grab a beacon, which I'm fairly certain is going to have an EMC. It does. And we also, of course, know that the iron blocks also do have, they're called blocks of iron, have an EMC. Boom. And so if we do something like this, I don't think you need the iron in the middle there, but why not? And then I think this does have to be a certain number of blocks out. So real quick, I'm going to visualize this. And I'm going to visualize it like here and just know that I've got to put these, 1 block over. So like there, and there, there, and there. And that should be ready to spawn a Gaia in. I don't think you have to get rid of these, but just on the off chance you do, I will also now unvisualize. And I think we should be good to go. We right-click with a piece of Terra Steel, which, once again, we can't access our system, but we can grab from here. There we go. As hard as you try, the beacon will not accept your sacrifice. I believe the ritual grounds might be improper. It might be a good idea. So it needs to be yet bigger. I will make it yet bigger. Oh, the iron block, you think it needs to be embedded in the ground? Oh, of course. Thank you, chat. Thank you. All right, so we just need to move these down by one in that case. And to save myself a little bit of time, I'm just going to grab 4 more pylons, place them underneath, and then delete the top pylons so that we don't have to like build up from the ground again. Not like that. There we go. And then we should be able to get rid of each of these and then shift right click with our piece of Terra Steel. And finally, there we go. It's a little loud. Yeah. It's just that easy, chat. It is just that easy. I think we do have to wait for like that theme music to play every time. Actually, I think if I look in the Lexica Britannia here, we can fight it like we can fight a better version, right? Like a higher tier version. We got the Ritual of the Gaia 2. If we right click with a Gaia Spirit Ingot, I believe we actually get like a stronger fight. Which I also don't think is going to be a difficult fight. I don't imagine. It might be. We'll see. If it is, we might just do the normal fight over and over again because all we really need is more Gaia spirits. And I think you do get more Gaia spirits from fighting the second tier of Gaia. But here we go. We'll shift right click again. We'll get the new music. So loud. It is extremely anticlimactic, yeah. With the music, you know, revving up, and then it's just an instant kill. It's just done like that. Do we need? We even need the runes of wrath. Huh? Saves me having to make those again, I guess. I'm just gonna make all 5 of these. You know, we'll fight this. We'll run through this a few times here. I'm gonna turn the volume down now because you know we've heard the music a few times. Roll the dice of fate. I will do just a second here. Let me try and clear my inventory a little bit. Gosh, it's so far away. Here we go. Let me dump like all of this stuff we don't need. Rune of Spring, Rune of Water, Rune of Autumn, Rune of Wrath. My assumption would be that you can get every rune. All right, let's see about grabbing the runes that we just missed here. There we go. We also got some Runes of Winter. Yeah, it looks like you can get pretty much all of them. Get out of here. Why did I build this in a slime chunk? Gosh dang it. But let's go ahead and roll these dice, shall we? We got a ton of dice of fate. I don't know if we can get anything super useful out of these, but we got Fruit of the Gaia, which apparently was a challenge of some description. The Ring of Odin as well, which is a ring that we can stick in our bauble slot if we weren't already wearing the Creative Flight ring. The Key of King's Law. Apparently all of these are achievements that, that warrant music. Sure. All right. Now we've got what it takes to make really as many of the Gaia ingots as we want. Like we can definitely make the 4 of these. We could make the 4 of these before we even started on the higher tier fight, honestly. So we really didn't need to do that many fights. But getting the extra runes is definitely useful. And so to make this work, we do need to get ourselves a crafting core and then also a pedestal. Now I've not actually used this at all, and apparently we have none of the items required to make this. So real quick, let me see about crafting some of this stuff up. So let me quickly request like 100 of those, and let's also request like 10 of these, just so they're ready for our system to use where possible. So while we wait for that, is there anything else we need here? Not really, right? We just need black iron right now. We need quite a lot of black iron. And then everything else on this list is just EMCable, apart from the infinity ingots, which we already have. So, I mean, that's not difficult at all. How about these fragments? Because these fragments are definitely of the remaining things we have to make, these fragments are the bits that scare me. We do need a spawn void wraith and a spawn void wrath. Now, the little information tab here does say that the capturing enchantment gives a monster a chance to drop their spawn egg plus 0.4% per level. The capturing enchantment. So we can make this in the enchanter. It requires saconade spores, however that's pronounced, as well as lapis lazuli. So that seems pretty easy. Do these have an EMC? They don't, of course. That would be too easy. They're made from mushrooms and ancient spores. Do we have that many ancient spores? No? We've got one ancient spore? I beg your pardon? And that also doesn't have an EMC value? Am I really going to have to sift dirt to try and get these ancient spores? I could make, I can't make any of this. Back to sifting dirt, back to the basics. I need so much though. Like we need, if we're going to get capturing 5, we need like 30. Although maybe not, it looks like it's just the amount of XP that changes maybe. I don't know. I would assume I need like 50 of these spores, which I need 50 ancient dirt. That is madness. Absolute madness. Get out of here. But we do have to do the killing though. We have to get those eggs. But I'll come back to that in just a second, real quick. Do we have the black iron ingots? We do. So we should now be able to make our crafting core, so long as we very quickly craft up the elite catalyst and the elite components, both of which I think we should be able to do. To make things easier, I will auto craft them. So you and craft, and then 2 of you. 25 seeds and you're good to go. Yeah. I mean, it's still quite tedious though. Like we do have automated sifting downstairs. But I don't know if it's worth necessarily setting up an auto sifting system for this. What did they say? 5% chance? It's not super high, but it's also not super low either, right? And I think it's done in the standard mesh. Yes, the string mesh is the only one that you can do this in. How am I out of range? There is no way that this is out of range, unless my system is not holding up on power. Modular machinery also has an auto sifter. Yeah, I have seen that. It looks terrifying. I've not used, like if I press U on this, does it show me the setup? It doesn't. Maybe it'll show me in here. There's usually like a tab that shows you like the modular machinery way. I have seen it around, but I've also not used the modular machinery yet. And I also don't see it in here at all. Like if I type in gravel real quick, can I find it there? Like one of these, right? The auto sieve. So like this works, and to make it, you have to do this. So we need machine controller. But can this sift dirt though? Like when I press U on the dirt, it just doesn't. Wait, did it show up? It just doesn't show up. Maybe you can't sift dirt with that setup. But we definitely can sift dirt with this setup over here. All we need is just a ton of the string meshes, which thankfully do have an EMC value. Now, it's still very tedious if we're going to get, 50 of them. At a 5% chance, that's quite a lot of dirt to be sifted. And so it might not be a terrible idea to set up... Okay, real quick, my system is apparently... There's no way that I'm too far away. Like, it's got a 500 block range. So I have to assume it's a power thing. Real quick, I'm going to put the creative energy cell just down on here so that hopefully, no matter where we are on the map, the system shouldn't, struggle to open. But I'm thinking what I might do is just throw down one of the autonomous users, of which I have forgotten the name of. Mechanical users, that's the one. Wait. Did they turn this off? Has this not been working for... Wait a minute. Did they just disable this? Because previously this used to work. However, it would appear that this is not... We've got enough grid power at the bottom there. You can see we've got 964 out of 922. Did they just disable this? Like in one of the more recent updates? So that it just doesn't work anymore? Because none of these are sifting either. Let me Google this real quick. Oh yeah, here we go. So I'm looking at a GitHub page. Someone's reported a bug. Mechanical user doesn't work with Civ as of pack version 3.0.41, which is the one before now. Apparently, the reply just says it won't work because it's been disabled in the configs of the mod pack. You're supposed to use the automatic Civ that even has a quest for it. So they've just disabled this. This just doesn't work anymore. This no longer is applicable to the mod pack, which is an interesting decision actually. I'm surprised that changed. So I guess in that case, if we look at the very first quest line here, is there a quest for the auto sieve? I guess there's this one, right? Is this the auto sieve that we're supposed to use? Because like, we set that up in the past and it is not great. We could change the config, but we could also, is there a better sifter? It doesn't appear to be. The annoying thing is that this auto sieve here, the one that like we have, looks like it doesn't sift dirt, bizarrely. Like you can make this, modular machinery, big old auto sieve, but it doesn't work with dirt. So I mean, the only thing I can think of at this point in time is to do it manually.
20 minutes later.
Why is Isaac sifting dirt? We start again, my friend. No, we're still in our same old world. We need 50 ancient spores. We currently have 34 ancient spores. Ancient spores do not have any EMC, unfortunately. We got even more, actually. We got some in here. Ancient spores, we got 50 in our inventory. Beautiful, as well as the extra 34 there. So we've got enough ancient spores now, which is great. We needed all of the ancient spores, and ancient spores do not have an EMC. And so we had to do a little bit of sifting, and surprisingly, the automated sifting of the past, the mechanical user, has been disabled. You can no longer use this to sift with, and so back to good old-fashioned manual sifting it was, but we can now make these guys, the Saconade spores. We can make these spores here. If we do something like this, and we dump all of the ancient spores in there as well, we can make, hopefully, like a stack of those. We do need more mushrooms. Thankfully, regular old vanilla mushrooms do have an EMC, and so long as we can find them in the transmutation table, we should be able to go ahead and make really as many of these as we're going to need, at which point we can then go ahead and, using the enchanter, get ourselves the Capturing 5 enchantment, which we're then going to apply to at least one of our tools. So you, and we also need a book and quill, I believe, which, as always, is probably most likely to be found in here. Boom. And then 278. Is that levels? No, right? And again, we should get the solidified experience cubes out of here. That's not 200 levels, right? There's no way that's 200 levels. Right? 278 levels? Yikes. I guess in fairness, what we could do, honestly, is get like, let me quickly, eat the rest of these. What we could potentially do is have a user feed as these. That is if the, like, bottles of experience, what are they called? Enchanting? Bottle. Is it not like a bottle O enchanting or something? Does it not have an experience, like an EMC value? Flask of experience? I don't know what it's called. I was hoping for like a splash potion of XP that we could like throw at us. This guy? Yeah, the bottle O enchanting. Am I typing that in wrong? Or is it because I put this in the middle? Ah, I see. I have broken the system in some form or fashion. But if we take like this guy and we have a like a dropper or a user or something that can throw these at the ground. Now, hopefully there is one that is nice and fast, like the some form of, maybe the item dropper? No, she's going to drop it, right? The mechanical user might work. If I can pick it up before it gets voided, which I did. Oh, I did. Nice. Like, if I do this, use item, I figured as much, right? Oh, it does work. And then my thought process then was just, you know, speed upgrades. As many as the eye can see. Get ready, headphone users. Because this might hurt. So we're gonna do you into you, not connecting there if we can avoid it, with you in there, and then you full of yet more of those. What I could do is taking some of those out. Yeah, I'm putting those in there with stack upgrades. I'm gonna turn the sound down just a smidge. And then now we're at grid power. Okay. At that point, we gotta come and take, you know, some of these out. We don't need these in here anymore. But that, hopefully, it's not at all fast. Like, my levels are going up, and it is more automated. I don't have to worry about, you know, getting, typing in the transmutation every single time, but it's definitely much, much slower. So definitely was not worth the setup at all. Maybe it's worth putting some of these in here. Like, almost certainly worth it. The higher the level of experience, the more, yeah, exactly. That's why it's slower. Okay, fair enough. You could use the cubes at the same time. This is true, actually. This is very true. I imagine this is probably not very good for the bitrate, right? Like, I imagine it looks kind of terrible on Twitch. Oh my goodness, the lag. Oh yeah, there you go. What do we need? Like 200 and something? This is not a private server. No, this is a Patreon server. Patreon.com/GOC is the place to be. You know what I think might be faster? I think it might be faster if we can get a dropper. Now I'm gonna go with the one from OpenBlox real quick. I think this one is cheap, but I also think it's like fast. Oh, that's just how fast it, that's not right. That's just how fast the item actually flies down. If we can get something that drops the experience cubes onto me, like very fast, then, like if we do this and we get like, some kind of timer, right? Does it have an EMC? It does. Okay. Let me use this. If we, I didn't mean to move the egg. Can I pick this up? No. Okay, that's fine. It does matter actually because I need I need the eggs to keep our grid power going. So real quick, let me just put that egg back. There we go. If we get some form of timer, and if we set that timer to a ridiculously low time, right? Like 5 ticks. Maybe even 1 tick. We'll check in a second, because 5 ticks is still fairly tame. And then we get a EMC link. And just like before, we have the solidified experience cubes pumped down through a transfer node into that EMC link. I'm thinking that we can probably just continually shift right click. Because right now, the thing that's slowing us down is having to go back into the book every time, right? Like having to go back in and getting the, I should also get a stack upgrade, actually. Having to go back in the book and getting, I also don't think this needs as many, getting the solidified experience cube. So if we can get this to just drop endless experience cubes, 10 is the lowest, eh? That's not really, that's really not fast enough. Want it to use the cubes? It's a dropper. I don't want it to use the cubes. I want it to just drop the cubes on me so that I can use the cubes. But I need it to drop faster than this. Like significantly faster. It's possible that, like, the crate? Like the Britannia open crate? Because I don't think that the crate from Britannia, like, actually... Like, they just kind of flow right through, right? Let me test this real quick. I just need a way to very rapidly... Like, yeah, look, that's what we're talking about. Britannia in the rescue. Okay, oh my goodness. So now if I do shift and I turn my macro on... See, why did I even bother with the previous setup? Oh my goodness. I might actually break the server. Hold on. Please stop. I didn't know how fast they were coming in. Like, they looked like they were coming in very fast. And I know I'm using them quick, but it was entirely possible that they didn't, you know, I just kind of stacked up so many items on the ground that they just, you know, exploded. There is a lot here still. I'm still filling up my inventory with them. But we have managed to achieve all the levels that we set out to achieve, which is good. I will use the remainder of these cubes here. It's only down to 17 FPS. It's all good. I don't know what my FPS was like there. It was pretty bad for a second. And I did just have a screenshot, which is perfect. All right. I think we're good. We will turn this off. There we go. I'll also turn this off as well. There we go. So we have 316 levels. It took a bit of doing, but now if we come over here, we can get capturing 5, which took nearly all of them away. That is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. So, anvil. Can I equip it to this? I can. Second question, can I equip it to this? I cannot. Okay, so I guess we're going to equip it to the Sword of the Cosmos. Do we also want to put, like, looting on this? I don't know if looting is going to help with, like, increasing the drop chance. Presumably it would, right? Like, I can't imagine why looting wouldn't help. Okay, I would like to go down to this lower level and see, like, how good this is. I know the sword's going to be very good. But I want to see, like, if we'll kill a few of them. You know, if we get the eggs, great. If we don't, then we might have to set up some kind of automated system for generating the eggs. Also, we can turn the sound back up now. You need to change the title of the stream to Welcome to Getting XP with GOC. How to get 300 levels with GOC. That was a crazy number of levels we needed, though, man. Like, I did not expect us to need that many levels. We do also have... We've got the... imprisonment tools, right? Like, we already have these guys stored away. It's not this guy, it's the other guy, right? So, oh no, it is this guy, right? Yeah, it's this guy, not the chain guy that we need. So we need to kill this guy as well as killing not these guys. These guys are unnecessarily. What dimension is this? It's from Voidcraft. The dimension itself is called The Void, top left. And the biome is also The Void. There is a fortress, I believe, over in this direction. We found it previously. The fortress is where we're going to find the Void Rats. I am quite interested to try the hole in the world, or whatever they call this, like, black goop. Apparently, like, when you go... Yeah, here's the fortress. But apparently when you go in the hole in reality, you get teleported to a random dimension. I'm quite intrigued as to what other dimensions there are that we could be randomly teleported to. Apologies, by the way, for the ever-increasing HUD element that is filling up your screen right about now. I do not believe there is anything I can do to get rid of that. Come on, please, drop an egg. So I would assume, right, that with the level 5 capturing we've got, we should have like a 2% chance of getting the egg. Now, I don't know how looting works on like a technical level. Is the looting going to increase our chance of getting the egg? Or does looting just make it so that if we do get an egg, we're more likely to get like a second egg? Oh, not what I want to be. Like, what's the deal with looting? Does anyone have a degree in looting in the chat? If you do, please speak now. Or forever hold your peace. Yeah, I think our best bet here is going to be to go back to the overworld and use the mob duplicator to do this, because they're just going to spawn in so much faster. So real quick, I'm going to try this hole in the world. Hole in reality. Boo. Such a boring dimension. I was hoping it'd put me in, like, you know, some kind of wacky wild dimension, but it put me in the freaking nether. All right. We should have the mob duplicator in here, and then we have the Void Wrath, and we also have the Void Wraith, I believe, in here, although I might have replaced the Void Wraith because we didn't need it with the Lich, so we might have to go and get another one in a second here, but real quick, Void Wrath. If we go and we throw this in over here, we'll of course have to temporarily disable our onslaught of sugarcane monsters, and I think we will also temporarily want to disable our grinder. I hope that works. I don't think there's much of a risk of us dying. The only big risk is us not getting the drop that we're after, which would be rather annoying. So we need 2 eggs. It's also actually very possible that it's going to get dumped in here and then deleted. So I should probably real quick just turn that off for a second, the south off, so that either the drop will stay in the hopper or it will be transferred to me. Now, there is definitely the possibility that we could just automate this. We could get like a Killer Joe from Ender.io and use that to generate, to like auto-kill these guys. The thing is, we've already got the 2 eggs that we need, and so there's no need for us to do that. So real quick, once these guys stop battering me around, I'm going to turn this back on and let them all die. Then we're going to quickly go and grab the other guy that we need, and we're going to do the same thing with that guy, and then hopefully we're just done with that whole setup. I should probably also check the hopper, because it's quite possible that there's some in here. Oh, look at that. Perfect. All right. So once again, we can take this out, replace it with our good old friend, the animated block, and we can go ahead and turn this back on. Set this back to south, and boom, we're good to go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So we've got both of the spawn eggs there. So looking at the recipe for the cow's plank and the quarry fragments, these guys here, I think we can make this, right? I think we can make 2 of these. So we need, real quick, do we have finally what it takes to make, like circling back, do we have what it takes to make this mana pool now? I think we should. I'll come back to those fragments in just a second, but kind of finishing off what we started earlier, I would like to get one of you, and then therefore the crafting core, and then after the crafting core, I would also like a pedestal, which does require a block of dark iron, but that is fine. Kapow. Do I need, actually, is this like a, oh gosh, is this like a Thorncraft craft? Do I need this many pedestals? Is that, is that how that works? It has to be, right? That has to be how this works. You put down the mana pool in the middle, you surround it with 58 pedestals, and then you infuse from there. Yes, that is like 100% how that works, right? That is correct. Okay, in that case, let me teach our system how to make these real quick, because otherwise it's going to take years. So we'll teach it how to make the block of iron, and then we'll also teach it how to make the actual pedestal itself. And then we'll throw both of those in here, and then we'll just request all of them. How many do we need? That is a good question. I think it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 30 pedestals, and we've got 2. Like so. I don't necessarily know how we're going to set that up or where we're going to set that up. I guess we'll set it up like over here, just because we have space here. Although 30 pedestals is quite a large number of pedestals. It's possible we could replace this over here. I don't necessarily think we need the ritual altar from Abyssalcraft right now, and we could always reset it up. It's not too difficult. It's just cobblestone. So I will temporarily remove that and place you smack bang in the center. Now, I would hope that you can kind of put these anywhere. Like they don't have to be in a big 30 wide ring around the outside, right? So I guess like 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm thinking of just going around the outside like this. I don't know how close we have to be to the center, but if we just do something like this, presumably we get somewhat close. Like I said, I don't know how close we have to be to this, or if it has to be a perfect circle. I can't imagine it does. I have to imagine they just have to be within a certain radius around the core for it to work. Hopefully. On the roof. We could have built it up on the roof, actually. There is an elevator that goes up there, and then nothing actually up there. So if we quickly grab the mana pool, the fabulous mana pool, which is in here. Boom. Okay. While we wait for the craft to finish, I guess we can start putting down all the rest of the items. So, Terrasteel, Elementium, Pixie Dust, and Gaia. Terrasteel, Elementium, Pixie Dust, and the Gaia spirits are in here. So, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I assume as well that the orientation doesn't matter. These are all assumptions that could be wrong, by the way. I'm also pretty sure we need resonating gems and star metal ingots. 1, 2, 3, 4. And also the resonating gem. If we do need to, it's not too big of a deal if we do have to redo this to make, to make it so that everything is in order, but that would be an odd requirement for a craft that's so extravagant. I also didn't count how, like, many pedestals we can fit on this island, but I hope it's somewhere near the right amount. What are we missing here? We're missing just the 4 infinity ingots and the 2 creative essence, I think. So, infinity ingots, 1, 2, 3, 4. And creative essence, 1, 2. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Does say no recipe found, which worries me. But that could be a symptom of not having any redstone flux. Pedestal 0, no recipe found. Are these too far away? Like if I move these 3 in, can it register them? Yes, they are too far away. That's annoying. I guess like you just ram them in like this, right? You just put them like real close. Pedestals 3. Yeah. Okay. How far? Real quick. How far out does it register? I'm gonna just vein mine this, and also probably shouldn't do it with like the items that are, you know, of vital importance to us. I was kind of hoping to make it like, you know, look at least decent with a circle going around it, but it looks like it can only go 3 out like that. It can't register that 4th one, so we just do something like this. Which definitely doesn't look as cool. And I don't know if this one counts either, but I guess we could try and make it look a little bit more interesting by doing something like trying to make it look like a circle like this. Again, completely not necessary, right? But that look how cool it looks, chat. What do we do here? So like that is horrendous. I hate it. What is going on with this? Let me move this spectre coil to the bottom of the freaking thing here. You can't. So I'm trying to shift right click this on the thing here, but my boots are too powerful. There we go. It might be the leggings actually that are too powerful. I'm trying to figure out why this looks terrible. I think it is these 2, 3. Okay, we have symmetry, and then now, do we have symmetry? We have symmetry. So now this is horrible because now we can do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it should hopefully be registering 28 pedestals. It is, but I need to put down 2 more. Kaz, why? Why would you do this to me? It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but still, you know, it's not, I don't like it. It's to say the least. Okay, let's put down our items, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Say it with me, chat. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are we missing here? We're missing this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4? So many numbers in the Twitch chat. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4. Have I got... Hold on. How many pedestals you registering here? 30. Oh, I'll put a terrestrial here, you fool. 4. Oh, it's instant. I was hoping for like a cool animation and for like some particle effects and maybe like a sound that builds, and it's instant. It's so instant. Beautiful though. We have an everlasting mana pool. Nice. Which of course goes at the very bottom of here. Although for now, we'll probably end up putting it in our Britannia area. That is if we need to do any Britannia actually, because although, well, obviously we do have to do some Britannia, but the thing that I'm thinking of looking at next is these 2 fragments here, because they don't actually look too bad. We do need 2 of these. Now, we need more EMC, man. Not a sentence I thought I'd be saying, but we only have 294 T, and each of these fragments requires a Colossal Star Amiga, which is 422 T a piece. So we actually have nowhere near enough EMC to make this happen. And so what I was, a suggestion I should say, I was given in the comment section on YouTube was to get the compressed obsidian, because 8x compressed obsidian actually has a higher EMC, 2.75G, than the octuple compressed sugarcane that we're currently using, which generates 1.38G. So if we go ahead and we just, take this guy out, and your time has been served, we no longer need you, my friend, goodbye, thank you for your service, and then we just animate this intensely dense compressed obsidian block, we should be able to get yet more EMC, like over double the amount of EMC per mob. Now we do have to make sure that we set this up correctly here, because we need to make sure that we put the right block in here. This is empty, so I'm going to pick this up and then of course replace it. This time with compressed obsidian, and then hopefully lock it with my key before it all gets dumped into the personal EMC link. There we go. And then that should... Oh, there's not even a translocator on there. That's because I just picked it up, you fool. There we go. Nice. That should be yet more EMC coming in. 20.49G per second. That's 20 billion EMC per second.